Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your guy Silent again, bringing you another video. Again, I apologize for the quality of it. Just a how-to video. I'm not doing anything too fancy. Some of these guys out there, they got it's pretty interesting intro videos. Wish I could do that. Oh well. Anyway, so I wanted to bring another stealth tutorial video for you today. So today's topics, this time's topics. I know it's been maybe a month or two since I dropped another video, but just want to drop some more basic ones. So I wanted to go over XUI files and mod menu, how to add a mod menu, Offhost. It's gonna be the method is gonna be a little bit different than my third tutorial where I showed you how to add games into your stealth file. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be adding the XEX engine into the Offhost. So I will cover that when we get to that bit. I also wanted to cover. I forgot to add. Okay, let's add here. Oh, what was it called? Colors. Okay. I dropped another tutorial a while ago that talked about how to add colors, how to change colors to the dashboard and UI and stuff. I wanted to show you how exactly you do that. All right, so first things first, I wanted to go over the XUI files, XML setup. Okay, so I'm not going to go into like deep depth to how to like design your dashboard and your HUD. Okay, there's some really good valuable tutorials online that show you how to do that. I'd just be wasting my time. What I wanted to show you is the proper setup. I see a lot of people online. They're always asking on forums, how I'm getting an XML error or something. I can't open my HUD or my XUI files. Okay, well that's because you don't have the proper XML extensions hooked up. Okay, so I'm sorry. Yeah, implemented. Okay, so you have your Xbox authoring tool. Let's launch this maybe. Okay, so if you don't realize, what you want to do is you want to options, okay, here, XML extensions, change. Okay, you want to make sure that these are in the proper order when you set this up. There's a tutorial out there that was made by some dude named Chemo. Do a quick either Google or YouTube search. You should be able to find his video, but on how to install this. So you just want to have your exam elements XML first, and then your custom XUI elements XML second. That's all you need, and after that you should no longer see the error. If you see your error on other XUR, that is because you don't have the XML, and these are the only two that they actually provided. So wherever you find that, please let me know. I'd love to have it. Okay, now that's out of the way. Let's go to, I wanted to talk about XML. Okay, that was XML setup. I wanted to talk about the XML files itself. Okay, so I mean, this is so when you see like the let's go. Let me show you. Let's pull up let's look at a video real quick of a HUD. Let me show you a couple of things. See, these are just basic. I just want to mention, I had somebody the other day, ask me why I make these YouTube videos. Like, I mean, he's asking me, doesn't this stuff cost money? I mean, aren't you giving free information out? And, I told the guy, okay, it's not secret information. It's already out there. It's already out there for the public to see on forums. All I'm doing is I'm just simply bringing all this information to the surface because nobody else seems to want to cover this junk. So I thought I would do it. Okay, let's go with let's do XP Ballin. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to skip. Look at those intros. Great. Okay, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you how you add this message box. I want to show you how to do that to your stealth source. Okay, so I was talking about like this right here. That's your notify. So I'm gonna show you where you go to design that, which is freaking simple. And then okay, so then the HUD. I'm gonna show you how you design this as well. And then I'm going to show you, like, see how this says KV unbanned and stuff. I'm going to show you how to implement that into your code. Just give you a small example. And then of course I'll tell you about the colors here soon. Okay. Wasn't sure if there was anything else. Oh, I wanted to show you this too. How you can change your Xbox Live to say something else, to say your stealth source. So like mine says silent live when they shows that the little bar message right here when it goes back and forth. It says connected to silent live or something. It's freaking cool. And then I can show you the little spinner too, which is pretty awesome too. These really aren't that hard to do. It's just work, a lot of work. Okay, so you got your Xml source, downloaded it, installed it. All right. So first off, you want the actual like what are they called, the XUR extensions, Xbox User Resource, I believe is what it's called. Yeah, because these are Xbox User Interface. I think it's interface. I'm just gonna go with that. But you want to convert the XUR to an XUI. So you got two things here. You got this right here, the tool, XZP tool, to open up your XZP file, and then you have I think it's in here, binary. And then you got your XUI workshop. So this right here will convert the XUI, sorry, the XUR over to XUI, and the XUI over to XUR. And so just to show you. Alright, let's come on. Just making sure that still okay. Still recording. Oh. Okay. Where is it at? Nimbus. Nimbus. I need to find. Okay, well, you want to switch. You need to switch these back and forth depending on what you're trying to open up. So we're doing an XUR file. And then okay, let's do guide. Okay, so we open it up. Gives you some cool information. And then you're gonna export to binary, and then wait a minute. I think I did something wrong here. Yeah, I did something. What the hell? Okay, well, this doesn't make any sense. I think I did this backwards. I guess I'm tired. Okay, well, I can save it as a XUI. That's how you do it. You just open it up. Okay, so yeah, you just you open it up as an XUR, and then you save it as an XUI. Then when you want to convert it from an XUI to an XUR, then you're gonna go into export binary, and then save it as an XUR, sorry. And that's after you've made the changes you've wanted to make. Okay, so that's that. I'm gonna cover on that subject. Alright, so you got your XUI converted over. So you wanna start editing that and making your HUD and your dash look cool. Okay, well before that, before I show this stuff, I want to show you like actually where they get it from. So in one of my previous tutorials, I talked about Xml. Okay, so most of the stuff that you find off the dash and the HUD, it's most of it is ran through the Xml, and that's where you want to get most of your resources from. If it's not through the Xml, you might have to do some research on it. If it's through the HUD XEX or the I think that one's called dash XEX. Okay, you can find those files on your RGH. You just got to look for it. Like I found mine in the flash drive portion of it. Usually you should have like two drives. One drive that contains your HDD, and then another one that's a flash that contains I don't know what all those files are for. I can't remember what they're for. Okay, but you'll find. But anyway, you're gonna find it. It's you can't miss it. It's when you launch your XEX menu. It's gonna be you're gonna see two. If you don't have a USB plugged in, you should see two drives: your HDD, and then another one. Sometimes three. There might be an HDDX, but there should be an HDD, HDDX, and a flash. You want to go open up your flash, and then you should be able to find all the resources in there, all the XEXs that you're gonna need. So like the HUD or the exam actually I think the HUD might come from something else, but it comes from one of those XEXs in there. I mean that's where I got my exam from. Okay, and then what you want to do next is you want to run your XEX tool. I'm going to go ahead and provide this in the downloads for you, my own little dumper here. I mean, all it is just I just set this in a bat file, and all you got to do is just run it, and it'll pop up. It will extract all the resources from your XEX. Just set it to exam. Just rename your XEX to exam.xex, and then run the XUI Dumper. And then a folder will pop out, and all your files will pop out as well. All right, so this right here is not actually the real exam. This is actually my notify. This is my what is it called? Yeah, this is my resources. This is my HUD, my dash, and all that junk. Okay, if you got just all you haters out there, if you plan on stealing it or releasing it to the public, go ahead. I don't care. All this stuff is free anyway. Any monkey can get their hands on it. Just saying. Okay, but if any of you are wondering how a lot of people find your resources and are able to drop it online, what I'm showing you here. What to do is the exact same method um, to use. So you can either you can use this tool to extract any stealth file XEX to pop up the resources, or if somebody made a notify with Chemo's tool, you can do the same thing. Some guy sent me their XEX resources the other day to work on, but he didn't send a XZP file, and so I kind of had to reverse it just to open it up to get the materials out of it. All right, so let me show you here. We're gonna go ahead and run this, and I'll run, and then you should get this that pops out. This right here, these are my resources. This is when this stuff pops out. This is what you see on my dash and everything. So it's in my dash XUI. It's my guide info main XUI. Okay, so that's where this tool comes in handy, your XCP tool. So what you want to do with this is you just want to rename the extension, rename it to XCP, and then open it in here, which I've already done for you, for everybody. All right, and then you open it up, and then out pops all this crap. All right, now I'm going to pull you. I have already extracted the stuff from the exam already, so I'm going to go ahead and go over that and show you that real quick. All right, so this is what pops out and pops out and stuff. Well, that looks familiar. I've seen that somewhere before. All right, anyway, so you got all this stuff, and then in order to open all these files, again, you want to rename it to an XCP. See, I did this with shades here. That when somebody connects to Xbox Live, that changed that little logo. This is actually where I found the PNG file for it, the photo file for it. I extracted it and opened it up in here, and then pulled it out. What do I got here? Oh, yeah, got more crap. Oh wait, no, I dumped it all in here. Oh, actually, this is just something I made. All right, yeah, I dumped all the resources in here, and live address strings, live all. And then to open up these, I think it's just pretty much the same method. Let's just change it to, let's just see, I haven't tried these yet. XUR. Okay, and then let's go back over here. Let's just see if this works. I'm pretty sure it does. Oh, I guess not. Doesn't want to open it. Let's try CP. There's got to be a way to open it. Whoops. Let's try this again. Okay. I might have to research on how to convert this. I thought it'd just be easier than. I'm sure there's a way. I have to research it. Maybe I should have researched it before I made this video. Oh well. Alright. No. Okay. Well, you have to convert the XUS file to something else. I don't know what it is. I have not learned that yet. How you might even be able to use it. There has to be a way to convert it over. But yeah, just take a look through it. Skin, what is exam? I'm just curious what this is. What did I do? XCP. Okay. And then, oops. Make sure that's working. Okay. Holy crap. Well, this is all the stuff. Okay, well that makes sense. Yeah, those XUSs, I apologize. I should have researched that ahead of time. I thought I wouldn't have a problem opening them. But, hub background, null HUD. Yeah, okay, so all you'll have to do is just drag and move these over into a folder. They should just automatically convert over. Let's do the notify. And then crap. High CPU usage detecting experience performance issues. Yeah, because I got a shitty Windows 10 computer. Really screwed that shit up. Ah. Yeah, that worked. What the hell is this? Export to binary. No, that's the wrong one. Crap. Make sure this is still running. Yeah, it's still running. What the hell? Maybe. This shit, this free stuff here is so old. It just runs like crap. Okay, you know what? Fuck it. I think you get it. I mean, it's not really hard. You saw what I did before. Oh, this is ridiculous. Come on. It's like garbage. Oh, that's not responding now. That's great. Come on, dude. Giving it a few minutes here. Close the crappy program. Well, good luck to everyone who wants to use that. Well, actually, it's the only thing you can use. Okay, but you get it now. That's actually where you get the files. So that's how that works. Okay, so let's go ahead and open up a couple of these. I'll show you some basic ones here. Okay, so this one is the, yep, it's that. Okay, it took me, I spent some good amount of time developing this, making this one, but see how this is, all this is designed. You can, you can do whatever you want here. Just when you design this, you got to think about how it's gonna look on the Xbox. So the basic setup with these resources is, okay, you make the resource here, then you code it, you implement it into your code. Okay, oh, I'm sorry, you have to hook it into your code is what they call it. My bad. You hook it into your code, all right, and then it launches up on the Xbox. Now, you got to remember, all right, you are modding your Xbox. You're not like adding in new code. You're working with current code. So you got to remember how this works. So if you load up a if you load up your HUD, okay, if you make your HUD not too big, like you say, if you make a shape or something like right here, and you make it humongous, like it's not gonna fit on your screen, or it's not gonna fit within the parameters of the code, your Xbox is just gonna crash on you, or you're just gonna have some major errors. Trust me, I played around with this a little bit. All right, so this one's your notify, and then let's see here. It's not okay. Let's go with this one. I don't think I can open this. Oh, I did open it. HUD skin. I don't know what the hell this is. Looks like buttons for something. You might have to, obviously you're gonna have to look around on your Xbox to find out what it's for. Okay. This is for the main menu. Oh, this is for a 5th tab. Okay, this is in case you have a. I think this is for. I'd have to look again. I'm pretty sure this is for a 5th tab. Yeah. You have to hook that properly. There it is. This should be it. Okay. Let's take a look at what we got here. This is your HUD. This is your. That should be. That's interesting. Okay. What's this one? Nothing. Oh, they got this set up differently. You don't have to do it like this. This isn't the usual way they have it done. It's usually this stuff right here is usually launched on the guide info stuff. Maybe that's what this is. This isn't. That isn't a good example. Okay. Here we go. This is better. Yeah, so this is your guide info stuff. I'm going to leave this up because I want to show you this KV status, just an example on how actually it's coded in the code. All right, and then no, that's not it. Crap. Fuck. Guide main. Here we go. And then you open that up. You're supposed to. There we go. See? Woo. This has to be somewhere. I'm pretty sure in the exam. It's in the exam. Yeah, I think this is in the exam if you want like a blank copy or something. It's somewhere in there. I'm not gonna just waste time looking for it because I've already got one that I'm happy with. Why did I exit out of that? I didn't mean to do that. Okay, so moving on. What else are we going to talk about here? Okay, so I told you XML is hookup, decrypt, exam, XEX. Okay, let's talk about the KV in the code here. One moment. Okay, so you're going to go to your client source. So I've been spending most of my time in title hooks and yeah, most of my time in the title hooks, showing you guys about that stuff. So let's expand on that a little bit here. Okay, so in one of my previous tutorials, you know, I talked about like the start of everything, like initialing all the hooks for your games. Well, the HUD and the dash, it's the exact same place. This is the exact same thing. Okay, so so you see this code. So when I talked about this code here a while back, making sure that you have these VK and the dash and the HUD in here. Okay, we're gonna go into a little bit further detail, depth with this. Okay, so this right here, if you don't see this here in whatever stuff you have or trying to make, it's not going to load anything. It's not going to load any dash, no HUD. It's just going to be plain old Xbox 360. Okay, so make sure that's in there. And then you know, you can actually, I know this is here. Actually, this makes sense. You can keep this here, okay? Because this right here, this is what you know. I'll come back to that. Let's start with the HUD hooks first. Where's that? Okay. And this opens up the HUD hooks. Your HUD hook CPP. It's gonna probably be called something different in your source. Well, I guess actually, you know what? You could just put you can just put your you know, hang on, I'll get to that in a minute. But okay, so yes, I guess for the guide and the guide info, it's launched through the HUD. So you're gonna have to get, if you want to get a blank copy or something, you'd have to get your HUD XEX off your Xbox and then decrypt it with the tool I'm providing. All right, so they've got it. So it starts right here. Okay, so you know, if HUD XEX, if you found HUD XEX, all right, we're gonna launch all this stuff. So your XUI scene, your XA register and unregister, you're gonna launch all your hooks. You can, again, like I've said in previous tutorials, you can name this stuff whatever you want. But I guess the guy that did this named it this. Renaming it really will help you understand it better. You know, especially when you add more and more code to it. Okay, so like what does this go? Okay, see, it's hooking your guide main right here. I know in my previous tutorial I talked a little bit about else if statements. Okay, the same principle applies here. All right, I mean the code's here for you. I don't need to go in great detail about what all this stuff is. I can just tell you that this stuff right here, okay, this like colored stuff, the green, that's not actually from Visual Studio. That's from the dev kit. Okay, this stuff like the void and there's some others on here. Yeah, the void, all the stuff in blue, that's actually from the Visual Studio. That's built-in functions, just so you can separate that out. Okay, remember stuff in blue is Visual Studio. Green stuff is the dev kit, which this is built around. The dev kit plus the libraries. And then this black stuff here, what do they call this? It's like a... God, I don't remember what they call these. God, I cannot think for the life of me what they call them. I just do not remember. But what this does is it basically hooks your hook your code together. So in C++ you have a function, and then you can call that function from another block of code. So this one right here, right here, you can go to it, create hook. Okay, you have the what is that called? God, I don't remember what the fuck that's called. Variable. Is it variable? Why do I not remember this? Okay, it's anyway, it's just to keep this simple. Let's call this a variable. Okay, so you have this is the variable. This is let's call this variable B. That's not variable B. You might have to look that up. But you have variable B and then variable A here. And these are variables. See, these would be like your byte, like your byte arrays, your doubles, your what's another one? What's that one called? Another one, pointers. Okay, no, not pointers. Okay, well, another one would be strings. So you've got this here, which is whatever name you want to give it, and then you've got your two enclosed circles here, plus the variable A and variable B that you want to have set here, so you can allow code to be passed through to each other. And this is having this set up is how so if you go to the top here, usually you can put stuff up here, like they'll be like, actually, you know what, I'll just show you easy to make it easier. Okay, so see how it says bytes and D word. Okay, and then you got to give it a variable name, and then you got to give it memory. Okay, you can put those at the top, and then so you're gonna call this rapid fire or something. And you just put the variable there, and then you call it in. I'm sorry, yeah, you're gonna call it in one function. Well, actually, that's not true. You should be able to use it in all functions. But if you have a local variable or something in here, you can like set it up and have it be passed through each one of these. Wow, can't believe I don't remember what these are called. But you might have to look that up and see on C++ YouTube, find somebody that can explain it to you better how that works. But anyway, going back to this. Okay, so alright, so you have a guide. See all this? Your home tab. See what this I guess I should explain this. So when you have this set up, you have this code here. It's hooked properly like this. Alright. This code is what's gonna allow your image from the HUD and the dash that you design to be to show when you load up your Xbox 360 RGH. That's what they call it, hooking it properly. All right, so that's how that works. And see, I mean, you can just see how like some of these are called XUR. This I think is the main. No, it's not the main one, but all these hook to one central spot, which is mainly usually at the bottom here. And then sometimes you have to take one block of code and hook it with another one. This stuff is so much harder to explain. I mean, it's a lot easier for me to just go through it and know it myself, but it's so much more difficult to explain, especially for people that don't know much about C++. But yeah, see, like this is the name of my see, we popped this out earlier when we decrypted my stealth file. If your stealth isn't encrypted, if it's not obscured, people will be easily able to decrypt it. But that's the exact same file that we just did earlier. Okay, so I know I'm getting off track here again. I'm sorry, I do that too often. Okay, so that's kind of basically the gist of your Hud hooks. Okay, so and your Hud hooks would be, okay, I already said that would be your HUD when it goes back and forth, which would be Hud hooks. That stuff is this right here. The hooks, that code, that block of code, that main big blocks of code is what makes this right here operate. Whether it's a fourth, fifth, or six, I've never seen 6 tabs, but 4 or 5th tabs. That's what it makes it work. Okay, and then now for the screen guide. Again, I'm sorry for the lengthy video. I'm just trying to be as thorough as I can to help anybody new, just to give an introduction, I guess, to how this stuff is coded and connected and works. All right, so if we go back to our title hooks, we're gonna go scroll down to we were gonna go to patch labels. Okay, so in your the guide and I believe it's preferences as well, and a lot of the tabs on the HUD. Okay, a lot of it, most of the time in most sources, stealth sources, is going to be coded through the patch labels section. You'll see something called patch or patch or something. Just look for HUD XEX and wherever you find it at in your stealth source. All the guide menu and the guide info should be stored underneath that. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to this, which is going to be found in the HUD for this one. This is actually my source. Yeah, this is one I scraped together. And no, if any of you clowns decide to post that it's not my source, that's complete crap. It's one that I took and I just basically scripted together myself. Yeah, some of it's copied and pasted from other sources. I mean, why not? Why would I waste my time recoding something that's basically the same freaking code? Okay, this gets completely stupid. And then some of it is just stuff I either edited myself or have added code to myself. Okay, so back here. Okay, so this, again, at the bottom usually is where all this crap starts. So when, actually I should point this out too. I should have done this 4 videos ago. When you open up any of these codes, CPPs, not the headers, but the CPPs, okay, if there's no like namespace, there'll be something up here like, it's like namespace, and then you call it something, and then I think it's like this. Yeah, a namespace, and you call it something, and then you can put you can put like I don't want to call it. Okay, yeah, you can put all this code inside the namespace. Not all the code, but you can put like something that says like void, I think, XUI create or something, and then do this. No, that's not right. You want to, yeah, and then do this, and then have a bunch of. No, that's not right. That's not right. You want to have the void outside of it. Okay, so you want to take the void, go outside of it. Okay, because if you wanted to, instead of like having a crap ton of this stuff here to include, so you can include all your files, you can just create a namespace here that will call that on something else, on a different CPP, or maybe you can use this one, and it will call that function. You might have to research that a little bit to learn how to utilize it. It makes it a lot easier to call these functions than the typical way I've been doing it. You could look at Xbox Xbox Shield's client resource. The way they have that coded, they use a lot of namespace. You can actually look at that and just review that and see how that's coded. It really explains it in depth, and not explains it. It really has it as a nice example on how to actually use a namespace. But yeah, so like I have this here. I think the void has to go above it. I don't remember. Okay. Wait a minute. I think you have to, they call it a prototype too. Let's create a definition. Okay, well, I'm doing this wrong. Go ahead and laugh, I don't care. But yeah, you can do that. If you just do some research, you can do that and have it set up that way. Or if you just want to do what I do and not put I don't know. I think it's just a waste of time, but not do that. You can just leave this set up as it is. But yeah, if you don't have namespace, something like namespace, most of the time the code is going to start where it starts is going to be at the very bottom, and then from there you just want to start going through these white words. Make sure I'm still okay. You just want to go through these the stuff that's highlighted in white. So where did I? Okay, we're in the HUD. Yes. I'm in the right one. I think I'm in the right one. This is the bootloader. This is the boot dash helper. I'm not going to show you that. You can look that up. I think this might be it. Patch strings. Well, somehow this connects to the what's it called? To the guide info. Sorry, I'm tired. To the guide info, and I wanted to work this thoroughly through. Okay, you know what? I think I'm actually in the wrong one. I think I gotta be in Hud Hook actually. Oh. I swear to God. Okay, screen guide. There we go. Screen guide. Okay, there we go. Oh, that's what it's called. You can have it called as a class. Well, no, you can still use a namespace. Namespace or class. Either one. Look, just go into YouTube and research class or namespace if to make this run much smoother. See, that's how it's able to. That's how it's able to be able to call it a lot easier. Okay, so yeah, there we go. All right, let's go back to HUD. All right, so this. Okay, so it looks like it's hooked from here to here. Okay, so it's hooked from. So it starts initialize Hud Hooks. So we went from title to here to here. Okay, and then it's gonna say, okay, all the crap under screen guide info. See, this is added several places in here, a few places in here. Okay, so it has unregistered and registered class hook. I wonder what the hell this is. Oh, interesting. That's interesting. Okay. I think, what's this one? What do we got here? Implement class. I could probably just go and see what that is, but okay. Yeah, alright. Wait a minute. Okay, so the unregistered is same thing. I wonder why they have this twice. What is the point of this? Oh, I might want to look at this, and that might. No, that's just I think they call that a prototype. Public APIs. Oh, they're calling that from the libraries. I see. It's from the libraries. Okay, they must, this must, I don't know which one does what. One of these hooks it and the other one doesn't. I'd have to research that further to figure that out, but I'm not going to. Let's just look at this again. Class. Okay, I'm wasting time. Alright, so these two blocks of code help to hook or unhook the Xbox screen guide. I'm working towards my way over to the KV stats to show you how it's set up, and I'm trying to work through it thoroughly so you get a pretty decent understanding of how it works. Okay, so we'll go over to screen guide, and then we will go to. That's not going anywhere. Initialize children. That's important too. Oh, that is just actually like a. Because this is a header. See, CPPs will call from a header usually. Headers are really nice to have. Okay, so anyway, this all starts in the CPP guide info right here. All right, for the KV status. So we found out how it all hooks up together and how we get here. Okay, so let us pull up the. Okay. So if we enlarge this, make sure this is still on. I've been having microphone problems. Alright, so I want to show you how this is done because nobody shows people this, and I just feel like this is basic and it's important and everybody should know it. Okay, so you can name your ID, right? You can name it whatever you want. So I've got mine text KV hash. See how that's named? I've got that, like I've got two of them here. I've got one for the KV status, which is just info. It's just I just named it that, and then I've got a blank, another blank one here, and then I named it text KV hash. Okay, and then I'm going to show you. Okay, so to enter the info, that's all you do. Just enter it. See, watch this. See, deletes. All right, status. Okay, and then so you want to remember. So I just want to show you. Okay, so on the source, the okay, so text kv hash. Okay, so usually when you see this here, it starts from the bottom here. How is this hooked in? Oh, they've got that set up with the class. So this is already, since you see that class, they already have this hooked in the class over here for the screen guide. Yeah, they've already got this hooked in here. But if they don't have this class here or namespace, this would be hooked. All these hooks would start at the bottom because C++ reads from the bottom on up, like automatically. It's just designed to do that. Okay, so you got initialized children here. This is going to be important later. I'll get to that in a minute. Okay, so as you can see, for example, my time remaining, I've got that set up as well. Actually, it just came with that. Well, actually, no, I did set up. I had to do a few things with it. Okay, so that's not what we're talking about. I'm sorry, I'm getting off topic here. Okay, so see this? Crap. Okay, you see this text kv status? Alright, that's the exact same thing right here. Alright, it's gonna, so when this runs, it's gonna recognize, it's gonna search the document here, your guide info document for the text kv hash. Okay, and then this is like, what's this one? Okay. Oh, that's from the libraries again. Okay. And then I've got this win character. Okay, this sets up the message buffers and the length. Actually, let's go to that real quick. Let's just, okay, I'll wait on that a minute. Okay, but that's how I'll go that in a minute. Okay, so this isn't the start of it, but this is a huge piece of it. You want to make sure that's there. And then if you actually go to the definition in your screen guide info, you're going to notice it's right here under XUI text element, because you're hooking the text messages, the texting on the box. So like when you go to when you see all this crap underneath the HUD here or anywhere else on any other screen that that the programmer has designed, okay, that's how they're setting it up. That's what's hooking it. They're putting the message, the text in the XUR, which this one we're doing is guide info. They're putting it in there, okay, and then they're hooking it properly on their stealth source. So now when you set this up with whatever text you're trying to show, so like when somebody logs in, they're going to be able to tell if they're banned or unbanned, or if they're logged in, they're going to be able to tell, if they're connected to I don't know, your server or something. I don't know why everybody thinks it's such a cool idea to beef out their guide so much with all that. Well, I think it's just garbage. It's just crap. I mean, there's only if you think about it logically, there's only a few things I'm sure most people would that need. I mean, the other stuff is cool, but do they really want it or need it? I don't really think so. Like, there's a couple of them where you can see the temperature or something. Yeah, I can see how that might be important. Um, Not really though. But if you wanted to know if your KV's banned or unbanned, and or the amount of time you've got left on your token with your service, okay, yeah, that's something I'd like to see on there. Okay, so all right. So then, as you can tell, like time. No, it's not that. Okay, this is another one I was trying to set up, but so if you look at this here, the question mark is another. I explained this in one of my previous tutorials. It's a Boolean statement. It's a true or false statement. So question mark, true, it's banned. Question mark, false, it's unbanned. I think, yeah, because it's 0 and 1. Okay, yeah, banned, unbanned, and then you got the text. So question mark, and then banned or unbanned. And so what's going to happen is when this code runs, when they launch it up, what's going to pop in there? It's gonna look in there, and it's gonna tell you if it's gonna put banned or unbanned. Now, a couple things here when you're adding text or any kind of graphic user interface interaction type commands. So like if you're adding tabs to games and stuff, and you're trying to like hook it all together, okay? So one or two things are gonna happen, okay? Either you're gonna hook these texts and these commands up with Xbox itself, like the RGH, okay, what's inside, already located inside the Xbox, or hook it up with to your listener, which for example the time remaining does. I'm not going to go through the time remaining because that's going to take me more time. I'm just going to do this right here because it's basic. You can take a look at it yourself. It's basically the same concept except just a couple extra steps. Okay, so this function right here is being called. It's banned. Okay, so back to this earlier. Okay, so you got text KV status. Set the text. You want to set the XUI element text, and then this right here. If we go here, this is gonna set the message buffer and size stuff. Like it's your stealth is going to read your code. This code here is gonna right here under when character 2 is gonna tell your Xbox 360 how big the message sizes should be. Doesn't apply to everything in here, but that's the gist of this. Because see, this says message buffer. It'd be like the size of the text, 256. That's a big ass text. Obviously, it's way less than 256. This one's 496. Okay. Oh, what? I can't remember what buffer is. Oh, that's the time it takes to allow it to load. Usually, it kind of doesn't make sense how they have it here, but yeah, that's kind of how it works. Actually, you know what? Okay, wait a minute. All right, so you got buffer, message buffer, sprint find, buffer, message buffer. MSBTOS is hooked to something else. Is that from the libraries again? Yes, that's from the libraries. And then this, I'm sure, no, that's this. Okay, so this is it's calling from the libraries. See, the libraries are is hard-coded or like metadata for all the code that's in on the Xbox. So what you're doing is when we want to alter a message, we're pulling the Xbox code from the libraries here, and then giving it a new, and then just changing it and giving it a new command. So which we want to change the command code mbs. Yeah. Where's that? It's on here somewhere. All right. Well, we want to change this mbs towcs to we're going to change that command in the Xbox 360 to whatever message we want to make. So this is going to be the message character, like the length of the message, and then this is going to be your buffer. I really am not sure why you need a buffer a text. It's just going to print, but apparently you do. And then I'm not going to explain what that is. Size of buffer. Oh, that's the size of character. Size of message buffer. Zero memory. I see that a lot. Okay, and then so that's the basic overview of this right here. And this right here, this 2W char or whatever, that is going to be connected to a lot of these like when you hook the text, it's going to be connected to a lot of those texts. So time remaining. So like here's like an INI text. It's hooked there. This should be, I might be calling something different. But yeah, if you don't, you're gonna want to use that. Make sure that code's in there to hook this properly. That WinChar code here. Somebody just named it this. I don't know why they didn't exactly see. They use names like this that shorten it up. You don't know what it is. Probably people that are really familiar with this code know what it is, but most people are not gonna know what this means. 2W character 2. I mean, what the fuck is that? I can guess character as in like letters. That makes sense to me. Ouch. Okay, so moving on. Anyway, so after it sets the size and the buffering, okay, then it's gonna go to this code. So remember I told you earlier that you can either set the code to be hooked up to your server source, your listener, or hooked up to the Xbox internally. So this code right here, you can the person that made this code, gave it out. Well, I don't know who originally did it, but the person that I feel like gets credit for this is some guy named Rick, like off of Demon forums. He's the one that like I initially got this from. So well, he didn't make it like this, but I got another different code from him. But I got this out of another stealth source. But he originally I'm pretty sure he's the one that originally released this. Well, he made a nice tutorial about it online, but I feel like I should give him some credit because it's not really my code, and I don't know whose code it is. But oh well. Okay, so yeah, it goes to this band. All right, so see again, character, setting this text size. What's this go to? Oh, it goes back to the libraries. Okay, get next in login extended status, and then I have an X here. I put that X there. Do not remember why. Then you have a status. Oh, okay. So extended login get extended status. Sorry, xnet login get extended status, and X and status. So I mean, not yet. You think of it as like including these two characters along with the extended status. So it's hooking these together. All right, and then after it hooks these two together, it's gonna return to status. It's gonna return a status which is hooked with these, okay, which is equal to this, true or false. So true, I think that's banned. How did I have that done here? Okay, true banned or false unbanned. All right, that's how those two work. And then I think there was something. I feel like there's something I'm missing here. No, actually that works. That works too. Question mark again. Should. All right. So this right here, I just want to explain. This right here is a offset that's found in the I don't remember where it's found in, and Rick's tutorial explained it, and I forgot. Sorry, but just know that it's found in the Xbox. So this block of code right here, this band code, is basically checking this offset to see if what your KV status is, if it's a banned or unbanned, true or false. And then it's gonna once after it checks it, if it comes back true or false, it'll print out onto your KV status here. All right. So then the last important thing I wanted to tell you. Okay, so remember I mentioned earlier about this initialize children. Okay, it's super. When you're trying to hook these text messages and tab commands together, sorry, this is just for text only. If you're trying to add these text together, you want to make sure you have something that it's called children. What are they? I don't know how they call it children, but that's what they call it. It's called children in the online coding world. So if we actually go to because if we go to this is telling the what's it called? It's telling your code, your stealth, or Xbox or whatever. Your code is telling your stealth when it loads up your Xbox. Sorry, I'm getting my words jumbled. Okay, this code right here is telling your stealth when it loads up what to look for. Okay, so right here, for example, you have get child ID, look for text KV status, and then it goes into and xKV status, or add the KV status on. If you find it, add it to this, and then go up, and then after it finds it when it loads up and hooks that, then the command goes up here. They call it this function here on init is going to call this function here, initialize children, to look through it. It's going to recognize this right here, this KV. It's going to find the KV text status, add it after it hooks, and then it's going to be called down to here, KV status, and then when it finds it, then it's going to go to this function, set the text. Then it's going to filter. It's going to filter out the let's call it filter. It's going to filter out your buffering for the text message, correct character size and correct character. I'm going to say correct character size and shit. And then it's going to go here after it does that, and then it's going to go here and then check the status of your KV, whether it's banned or unbanned. That's how that works. The rest of it is pretty much the same, unless you're trying to code it to your server. That's something different. I'm not going to go into that for the sake of freaking time. Okay, so we talked about KV status. What did we want to go to next? Oh, yeah, colors. Okay, so alright, so this is going to be under your title hooks. And in my fourth tutorial, I kind of give you a brief explanation of how this is done, but I'm gonna quickly visually show you. Okay, so you're gonna put all this crap, all this stuff is loaded under your dash. Sorry, so when you pull up, well, obviously because it says dash. So when your dash launches up, it's gonna set when the colors on the dash from green or white or black or whatever to whatever color you want to set it. So on my fourth tutorial, I have all this pretty much set up for you. You don't really have to do much. I get all this from Xbox Shield's resource. Kudos to those guys for releasing that stuff to the public. And then I've got another one here for search. I think I have it somewhere. Search. Where are you at? Yes, I also have the social search as well here, which is more tabs. I think, yeah, this one for the tabs, this one, I'll just show you. Alright, let's see if they can pull up something cool. Okay, I forgot to mention this. By the way, the text, okay, if the text is like already there for Xbox, or you're not trying to like send commands to the Xbox like I did with the KV status, okay, all you gotta do is just put whatever text you want on the guide or on the guide info you want, or the HUD. You could just have text and pictures and shit if you want. So like this, if you find this here, you can just put a bunch of cool stuff on here. You might make it look like crap, but you can do that if you want. Or you can just change the colors here. I believe there are offsets for this that changes these. You can just call under title hooks for your XEX to call this right here like we're doing. But I don't know. I don't know which way is easier. I guess it just depends on you. But anyway, I'm sorry, getting off track. Okay, so I wanted to show what that social one was, if I can find it. It's like these tabs here. This is not helping. Let's go to this one. Make sure I'm still... Yep, we're still here, still talking. Alright. Oh, there we go. Okay, alright. So the social, see these right here? This one, I think this is it. Yeah, so this one is your, I'm pretty sure this one under dash, I think that's it. I'm pretty sure that this, I might be wrong on that. Where is it? There was another one I had here. I don't know where it went. What the hell, Mike? I think I'm missing some code. I am missing some code. What the hell, Mike? Oh shit. Let's just take a look real quick. I don't know, it's there. Okay, yeah, it is there. Okay. Okay, actually, you know what? This is, or there was a screenshot of it here and I lost it. Okay. Well, you're gonna have to look and see what this one does. But I'm pretty sure this is a freaking. I'm sure that's what this. This is this one right here. By the way, on all these offsets here, don't edit any of them. Don't touch them. Just leave them here. The one you want to edit is right over here. And then these right here, these are your background. This is what changes this back here to whatever color. So like I got mine set at purple here. This will change it to purple. So same for the sign in. When you first launch up Xbox and have the sign in screen, not the HUD part of it, but when you first open it up, that's what changes that color as well. One of these does. I think they all do actually. But yeah, that's your back. I haven't taken the time to look at all these. I didn't really care to. But these are going to be your tabs and button boxes. That would be your tabs are going to be these. And then these over here. If I can, yeah, it's going to be these. That's what those are. Okay, so then now for the nitty-gritty of what people want to do. Okay, so I've already got this set up here for color. Here. Alright, so you want to go to, let's go to my video. Stealth server tutorials. Add colors. Alright, so you're gonna go to you're gonna go, oh, here it is. Okay, that's what search. That's the one we did earlier. Let's see what this is. Let's see, make sure. Okay, I guess I was wrong. Okay, so this one, this dash social lex, lex. Maybe that's why it's not working for me. I've got it named wrong. Okay, dash social xex. Okay, is gonna be for when you're looking for a game. It's gonna change these searches right here. All right, and then so if we go to this link here, rapid tables. Okay, so basically what you want to do is you want to you can set it to whatever you want. So like I set mine to click down here, scroll this down here to like purple, and then just go around and then take these last 6 digits here and then go to my source and then change the last 6 digits like that. Alright, that's how that works. That's all you have to do, and that will see how these are all equal to it. So it initializes these offsets here. It's going to initialize the color, whatever you've got it set to. Same thing with these. You can, if you want to use the color, you're going to have to change these to color. Otherwise, if you just want to set like a single color or something, you're gonna have 0xFF and then the last 6 digits. So if I want to do purple here, FF and then B52DD0 right here. If I wanted to set the background. Yeah. So that's how the colors work. Pretty freaking simple. And kudos to, I think it was GIS that originally released the color stuff. It might have been somebody else. I don't know. I can't keep up with those guys online. They're always going back and forth and arguing and just they're like children. It's like a school ground of little children, and you toss them a lollipop and everyone's got a fucking claim to it. It's really annoying. I wish they learn to get along. Oh yeah, I also want to show this too. So GIS or whoever released this code here, which, okay, so there's an add-on button. You won't miss it. There's an add-on button where you can switch. You can when you switch these when you set these colors, there's going to be a few buttons, like the add-on button you'll see, that are still green because the add-on button is not connected to the Xbox locally. These offsets come from the Xbox locally. The add-on button is this right here. The add-on button is connected to actually connected to Microsoft's servers online, actually, because when you click the add-on button, it's going to take you to an online search menu because you're on live and you're going to be searching through the database for games, movies, or whatever. So what this does is you can change the picture on it. So if we go to NetDale hook right here, I think I've got this set up wrong. Okay, but I still haven't been able to get this to work correctly. But I guess it has to be PNG. I don't know what website will make it work, but maybe someone can help me out and correct me on a few things here. But as instructions say, enter website, and then after PCH name plus X0X200, then include whatever the website is attached to. So it's something like this. So let's say I've got www.hookah.com, and that's the hookah.com is going to go in the first portion here. It's going to go right here, and then after that backslash, and then say I have 1, 2, all these numbers, and then PNG. Okay? The backslash plus whatever's after that is going to go into this second part here. That's how that works. And then when you open up your Xbox, say you got a picture of a dog is going to show up there. That's how that's going to work. Okay, so alright, moving on. What was the next thing we're going to talk about? Oh, okay. So we're going to get on into mod menu Offhost. Okay, so my last tutorial, I showed you how to add games and how to add mod menus actually into the stealth source. Okay, well, I'm going to expand on this a little bit and introduce to you basically a fourth method that I probably should have showed you there, but I'm going to show you here. So if we so you're going to want to set these up both in your main stealth source and your listener. So let's go with the stealth source first. Okay, so like all the hooks, it's going to well, no, it's not going to start in title. So depending on how you want to have this set up, that depends entirely on you. So you can have it set up under title hooks here, under game. So like remember my last tutorial, I was showing you how to do add message boxes, okay, for your games. So like when you launch a game and you get a box and you get an option 1, 2, 3, you got an option to start up the mod menu. Okay, well the same principle pretty much applies here, except in this you can do that under here. Except this time I did it a little bit differently. So if I go to, where did I put that at? Okay, so my message box automatically pops up every time somebody launches onto my stealth. So it shows at startup. Okay, so if we go, I gotta find it here. Okay, I'm just gonna show you this part. I'm not gonna show you how to actually set up this box, because maybe I should. That's not that hard to figure out. Just look at Xbox Pal. Just go through that, and do what I've been doing, like connecting this. Okay, C++ is the figuring out how everything connects. It's like a freaking jigsaw puzzle. Okay, you got to connect the dots, connect the puzzle, put the puzzles together. Just do what I've been doing, and see how it all the code blocks of code, connect to. All right, so I've got this set up here for a message box. Okay, so when somebody pulls up the dash, they see my dash name, two options: let's go or enable XE cheats. Okay, so let's say they click on XE cheats. Okay, so the message box, like in my last tutorial, it goes to your WinWPI block of code here, and then you've got your options: if and else if. Okay, so they decide. Let's say they press the second button here and they decide to enable it. Okay, so it's gonna start running these commands. Okay, so it's gonna my function right here. I have it set up where it calls this function right here. So it's gonna call this right here, this XE cheats. You can name this whatever you want. I think this doesn't have to be. I don't think this has to be HR result. I think you can call it void if you want, but I just leave it named like this if you don't know what you're doing, especially if you don't know what you're doing. Okay, so then you've got this block of code right here. Okay, and so how this reads is you have constantly size, menu size. This is the name of our array, or basically array, equals to this size. And then you've got the file name, and then you got the notify. You already know what that is. Okay, and then you've got this block of code here. So what this is doing is, okay, so let's start with this. This right here, so I'm using XE cheats on my test server right now. I set this up ahead of time, so I've already got everything installed. So this right here, this is going to be your file size. So this is going to be the size of your XE cheats. Okay. So and I'll just I'll show you. Let's pull up the listener. Maybe it might. Did I do that right? Man, this is really not liking me. Make sure I'm still recording. It's really not liking me. Okay. Let's go to silent. And then I think I've got it here. Okay, so let's just take a look at it. Okay, so we've got 83968. That's the digits. Okay, and I converted that to hexadecimal. Okay, so XE cheats. Maybe. Oh, come on, dude. What the hell? Let's just close all those. This is ridiculous. Okay, well, you're gonna get the file size from the properties screen. I really wanted to show you this. because this is an important part. I don't want people coming up to me, oh, how do I do this? I can't do it. Please watch the video. It's not that hard. Okay. There it is. It's the bytes. So it's 82 kilobytes, and then this is, well, I suppose you can just convert that on Google or something. But this is the easy way to just see it. Don't ignore this, not the save on disk. You want to use this one. So you want the size of the file, which is 82,968 bytes. And then it converts to 82 kilobytes. That's freaking small. That is very small. Alright, so, and then we have that set there. See how that works? Okay, so that is our file size. And then what we have here is the character size. So what's going to happen, if write file, C data, XE cheats menu size, which is this, equals true, okay, it's going to load the XCX image, the file, which is this, 8 null null, and it's going to download it from your, I'll show you how this works in a minute on the listener. It's going to download it from your listener. The file will be in your listener, and it's going to download from the file in your listener onto the Xbox 360 HDD drive, and then it's going to load the image, the file, which is this. So then it's going to write. Sorry, it's going to write. Sorry, it's going to write. It's going to C write the file bytes. This right here, menu size. Okay, to your Xbox 360. So it's going to this code right here. It's going to download it first. Okay, and then after it downloads, it's going to load up the image. And then this 8 is for, I forgot what this is for. It doesn't have anything to do with this. Actually, it might. Yeah, it does. Okay, yeah. It's going to load it as 8 characters long. So you it's going to load this CC file onto your RGH. Now, after this is done, this just prints on your log, file on your RGH. But after it launches, okay, it's going to, this command right here will delete the file off your RGH. Now, if you didn't have this here, if you had this blotted out or something, okay, if you actually pulled up your Xbox RGH, if you looked into it, like on XEX menu or something, on your HDD, you should see a file named CC on there after you activated your the Offhost was activated. So, I just want to point out, where's that? Okay. All right. So this next bit is important too. So I just want to point out that what makes this really valuable to use on your stealth server is that it is an Offhost. For a long time, I didn't exactly understand what they meant by Offhost, but now I do. So when they say Offhost, it actually means it's from the host file. It's from the VPS server. And so you want to make sure this code right here is there, okay? Because you want the file to be deleted for security reasons, okay? First off, and I'll let me list out like security reasons. That's just 2 good ones. First off, say you made your own mod menu, your own private, nobody has it, it's not public, okay? You don't want anybody to get a hold of it. And trust me, there's a way around this, but I don't know how, but I'm sure there's a way around it. It's computers, man. There's always a backdoor somehow. There's always a way to do it. But anyway, you want that to be removed. You want it to be deleted. So that person won't have your file, because if they have your file, they can just distribute it to everybody on the internet. Before you know it, your private menu will be online to everybody. That's another way. That's not how they crack it, but if anybody doesn't have that there, that's pretty dumb. And then the second reason, and possibly the best advantage of doing this method, okay, is loading it from the VPS, okay, is it basically by removing the file as well, it hides, it spoofs you better. It hides your mods, your customers RGH, or your RGH way better. Whereas the other methods I showed you, where you just add games and cheat engines, offsets, whether you're using a message box method or the INI method, okay. Instead of doing that, you're going to be loading it from the server, because if you use this, yeah, it's built into the XEX, but it's gonna dump into the cache file, is what I'm trying to say. I mean, every time your file, your XEX file, the stealth XEX file, communicates or talks with your RGH, especially when you're loading a mod from it or something, whatever XEX, whatever plugin you're using, okay. They have pretty much all computers out there have what you call a cache system, okay. And I'm sure everybody's heard of it, but nobody really knows what it is or what it does. I highly recommend researching it. There's 3 levels. There's L1, L2, and L3. Xbox 360 uses an L2 cache type, and so basically what it does is it will take the data when you have it that you have right here from your offsets and your cheat engine, and it's going to temporarily dump that in your cache. So when Xbox 360 say they go to scan your they're going to scan your cache file. So say they go scan your cache file, they're going to see that modded content in there, because when you mod it, the file is going to get dumped in that cache. And how a cache works is it allows for like a temporary folder, a file or whatever, to be made in that cache, and then allows the Xbox to Xbox and most computer systems are programmed to go into that cache pile. So when I program this stealth server to load up a mod, and it dumps the file into the cache, the Xbox 360, when it receives that command, it's going to go to the cache and pull out that file. It's going to pull out the data from that file, and then it's going to load it up into the game. That's how that works. Well, see, what the problem is with a lot of these stealth servers is they don't dump the cache afterwards. If you don't dump the cache, it's still in there. So when Microsoft scans your cache file, it's going to see that modded content. You're already flagged, and then before you know it, you get banned quicker. But what this other method does, this Offhost does, and why Ninja is so famous for it, why everybody talks about it, okay, removing the file at the end here from your cache, when Microsoft goes to scan it when you're online or whatever, okay, it's not gonna detect that. It's because it's been dumped. It's been cleared. And this doesn't, when you have this command here, it doesn't just sit there, okay. It doesn't just sit in your cache. It's downloaded onto your file. There's going to be some bits that are dumped in the cache, okay. When the image in Xbox loads up the XEX image, okay, after that, then it's automatically going to remove the temporary files, the cache and the file on the HDD drive, because you don't. I'm sure some of you are wondering, Okay, well, if it removes the file automatically, wouldn't that remove the mods too? No, that's not true. Because the XEX, the mods, let's make sure I'm still okay. The mods are already, the files are already loaded on the computer. It's already running. Yeah, that goes into that goes into, I think it's physical memory. Is that what they call it? So you got a processor. Is that the processor? Yeah, it goes into, I think it goes in the processor. Whatever, a physical memory, whatever it takes to when you physically are running your active programs, because you have active programs, and then then you have actual physical RAM. The RAM, the HDD drive, that's exactly what that is. That's just RAM. That stores the memory on the RAM, and the cache file is like the go-between between the RAM and the active memory, the physical memory that's being. No, it's not physical memory. The active memory that's being that's running your processor, that's running your applications. Okay, so you want this here. Okay, so loads up the CC file, gets the XEX image, the XE cheats gets loaded up onto your Xbox, your RGH. And then it removes it, and then as long as you are still as long as you're still online, or have your Xbox turned on, okay, the image is loaded. So then when you restart the program, there won't be any XE cheats. It won't be on your drive. It won't be on your physical drive. So you always hear people always telling you when you go on, before you go online, to clear your cache. Well, there's a really good reason for it, and that the exact reason, and the reason for it is the exact thing that I just explained. Okay, how that works. Okay, you want all that memory on your cache. You want to dump it. You want to get rid of it before you go online, or after you get done using it. And what a lot of stealth servers have, they have their code set up to automatically clear cache anyway, if they did it correctly, because you want to dump your ECC digest. You want to dump your cache every time you connect to Xbox Live. So when you connect to Xbox Live, so every time you do something on Xbox that is going to download information, you're going to receive information from Xbox Live. Okay, Xbox Live has their servers programmed so it scans your drive, and when it scans your drive and it tells that those mods are on there every time, and this happens super fast, ultra fast. Okay, every time it scans your drive, and if it detects that those mods on there, okay, you've already been flagged. You're gonna get flagged, and you're gonna get banned in a few days. All right, so for a good stealth server, all right, probably the most basic reason why they are able to detect you without anybody reporting you or whatever, okay, is they scan your hard drive, is what they do. And the stealth servers have been able to obviously spoof you, but able to dump your cache. So every time Xbox tries to scan your drive, okay, so your stealth server connects to Xbox Live. Your RGH connects to your stealth server, and then when your stealth server receives the notification that commands are getting sent to Xbox Live, it will quickly send a command to your Xbox RGH to automatically dump the cache. So when Xbox Live goes in to scan your RGH, it's not going to find shit. It's not going to find anything. It's going to look like fucking retail. That's how that works. And that's why really, really important to have this here and to dump your cache. All right, so I wanted to show you one last thing here. Okay, so the last important thing for the stealth server portion of this is you want to go to your you might have something called server communications H or something. You want to find where your command, where your command base file commands are at, and your defines status codes. You want to find where this is at. So just on a side note, hang on a minute. Let's make sure that we are still rocking and rolling here. Yeah, we're still rocking and rolling. Okay. So this stuff right here, all of this stuff, okay, these are your base codes, okay? These base codes are what allows or like it's like the start of, not the start. It's the code that your stealth and your listener are going to use to communicate with. And I'll show you what I mean in a minute here. Okay, so as you can see tokens here. You can see, well, this is just a struct, but you can see all these structures here. Now, I would highly recommend that you Google and watch a couple videos on what a struct is. Okay, so this right here, again, that's from the libraries, and then this blue shit here, this blue stuff here. Sorry, this blue stuff here is from your Windows Studio. Okay, so where's that? Because I've already got it programmed here. Okay, so you're gonna want to find on pretty much 90% of all these stealth server resource files. Sorry, stealth server source files. You're gonna want to find oh shit. Okay, yeah, you're gonna find server get custom response. All right, and then for your XE cheats, you're gonna want to enter in here. You're gonna want to enter as a byte because we're reading bytes, and then you're gonna enter the name, the same variable that we used in silent CPP here. You're gonna give it that name, and then you're gonna give it the exact same file size. Now, I'm gonna let you know if you don't have the file sizes correct. If you don't have the file sizes correct about the actual size of the menu file that you're going to use, all right, or if you don't have these set up properly, you're going to get errors and it's not going to work. Okay, if you don't set it up like this, none of this will work. You have to set this up correctly, the right file size. Okay, so when this right here talks to your listener, all right, it knows. When your stealth server talks to your listener, it knows the right file size to download. So when your listener goes into, when you send a command to activate the offhost in your listener is programmed, and it's going to go into your file, and it's going to look for that file size. When it finds the file size, which is going to be your XE cheats, it's going to take the XE cheats, all the bytes, and then send it to your Xbox. And then your Xbox, the stealth XEX, is gonna load that image up, load the XE cheats up. So I mean, you gotta have this correct, so your listener knows how to knows what file to look for, because it's gonna look for it. It's gonna search for the file size. It's gonna find it by the file size, not the name. I suppose you could set it up to look for the name. I suppose you could do like I don't know what they call it, string here, and then XE cheat menu, and then what do we want to do? I think now actually I think it's like this, and then we can just call it XE cheats dot xex, and then it'd be like bin, okay, something like that, and then that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I think this is how you do it. No? Didn't like that. It might be character. Yeah, I think it is character. Character. Yeah, there we go. I like that. Alright, it took that. Yeah, you could set it up like this if you wanted to. Of course, then you'd have to make sure that this is set up like a character as well. I suppose you could do it that way. But if you don't know what the hell you're doing, just do it the way I showed you. Okay, don't do it this way. Just make sure that this is in here. Byte, your cheat menu, and then the actual file size. Now, I just want to point this out, especially for newbies, how this works. Okay, so this little semicolon here, that ends the command function. So this entire line of code right here, okay, is a command structure. Is a bunch of commands. So U32, it's gonna run days, hours, minutes, and PPC NOP all at the same time. Okay, that's because of the comma here. Okay, I'm pretty sure, I'm confident, like vast majority of you are going to do this, and you're going to use a comma, and it's not going to work, because if you don't have this programmed right, it's gonna you're gonna tell your listener to run this, and run this, and then run the XEX cheats menu pretty much all at the same time. You don't want to do that, because it's going to add this, it's going to include this with this. You don't want to do that. You'll make sure that the semicolon is here to end the command. Okay, so we've got that part set up. Okay, so then that is the end for the stealth portion. Okay, so now if we go back up here, let's exit out of that. If we go back up here to these, you want to make sure that the stealth server get custom right here is the same as it is on the listener. So I'm going to try very hard not to get too far deep into the listener. I'm just going to try to stick to the basics, but this can get a little bit complicated. Okay, so you want to find something called server CS. This is programmed in C# and not C++. I do not understand why they did that, but not sure. Okay. Anyway, you want to make sure that these two values, server custom get command ID, is the same command server get custom ID. These two values are the same, because this is how these two communicate with each other. This is the value that they use. This will be in the hash data tables, and when it runs when the programs run and execute the hashes, it's gonna look for this value for each other. And when it finds each other and it connects, then it's gonna run the rest of the code on both ends. Then it's gonna communicate with each other. Okay, so you want to make sure that these two are correct. I'm kind of doing this a little bit backwards, but yeah. Alright, and then the next thing you want to do is you want to go, what you're going to do is, you can just follow along and do what I'm doing here. Take this, because this command to code is actually in here as well. And you want to find it right here. And so the important piece on this command, this code here, is gonna be these. Is gonna be these two lines of code right here. Okay, you don't. How I have this set up, you can do it like this, but it's a waste of time. You don't need to do it like this. What you want to do is you want to take this silent XE cheats. I'm sorry, whatever your server name is, XE cheats menu bytes, and then you're gonna add it right there. That's what you want to do. So then when this reads game integer game patch sizes equals all these guys, it's gonna convert it into, I don't know, I forget what a unit is. A U is. Actually, it's just bytes, but it's gonna run this. It's gonna read from. It's gonna read into this next line of code here. So see how these are all added. Game patch size 2. Game patch size 2 equals this, or game patch size equals all these. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and erase that out of there. Okay, so make sure that this is added here. Actually, you know what? I'm doing this backwards. Let's start over. Make sure I'm still okay. Actually, let's redo this. All right, we want to go to. Because I want to show you. I want to show you how to add this. How to make your stealth source read the code, start reading the strings, because it has to read the strings off the bat. I mean, it has to pull the memory from the RAM, and you want to make sure that it's currently active when you're reading it from the RAM. So, like for example, see how like challenge bin. Okay, no, let's go with HUB bin. Okay, so when you like pull up the listener and it says reading strings from HV bin, from silent, from the XEX, from the notifier or whatever. Okay, what you want to do here is you want to add that in. You want when you launch up your listener, you want that to show that you're actively reading the strings, the bytes from that file. So when it communicates with the stealth server XEX, it's actively processing that information. It's actively running it, like when you run any application. And then when it receives, when it's reading the bytes and it's active, and then it receives a command to retrieve those bytes from the RAM, from the memory, it's going to go and do that, and then send that information on. Okay, so you want to make, when you put in your new menu or whatever, you can give it whatever name you want. I gave mine XECheats menu bytes equal null. Okay, you want to make sure that this is here, because you want to set this to 0, to nothing, because I'm not going to explain what that means, but you just want to make sure that this is here. Okay, and then next you're going to go ahead and add it in, just like all these are. Okay, as you can tell, I've got it right here. Okay, and then next, go ahead and you're going to want to come down here. You're just going to find your main, and then you want to go down. No, you want to find something called initialize, and then go down here where the block of code is. Okay, so it's a function block. No, not function. It's a block of code. You want to find the block of code down here. So when you go online, when you launch up your listener, select this is set to red for what's this one? Blind. Oh, that's not it. Sorry. All right, let's look for something here. Yeah, okay, let's use this one. Okay, so your challenge bytes, when it's reading from your challenge bin or whatever, okay, your challenge response bin, it's reading from this. It's gonna print out this message. Try challenge bytes equals system file read all bytes from challenge bin. Catch, if it doesn't work, print out this error. And you can have it console color equals red, green, or blue, or whatever you want. And then if it does work, it's gonna print out this shit. It's gonna print out this right here. So what you want to do is you want to copy all this, and then do what I did here. Where is it at? XE Cheats. I copied it somewhere down here. It is somewhere. Here it is. Okay, so I copied all that entire code and put it right here. Okay, and all you do is just change the names here. So I changed it to XE Menu Cheats like we had above. Change this to XE Cheats Menu, which is the public static string that we're reading the bytes from the XEX cheats from. And then we're gonna change it here and here. Okay, and then I set this to green just so it stands out for myself. All right, and then after you do that, what you want to do next is you want to take your XEX menu bytes or whatever, and then you want to go over to server. Your server should say server. If not, you're going to have to look around. Then you want to go over to your server and then make sure that the base address matches, like we did before, your XEX source. Then you want to add it in down here under Get Custom, just like I did here. Make sure that these 2 lines of code are correct. Well, I've got it set up like this, but just add it on like I did before. And then like that. All right, and then you're gonna go down here, and then you're gonna want to just take one of these here, or you can just copy from me, I suppose, and then copy paste, and then change this to XE Cheats Menu Bytes as well. Okay, and then that is pretty much it. If you did everything right, it should load up properly. And then when you go to load up your XE Cheats or whatever menu you're using, all right, it's going to read the bytes and it's going to send it to your RGH console, and it is going to connect. Now I will just I'm not going to show you a demonstration. Just it should work. It will work. Oh, this works. I know it works. So let's damn. Alright, let's go to my little test server and I'll just show you what it looks like. This one. Alright, see, I've got it added in here. And then I've got the XE Cheats in my bin here. You can have the read from the bytes as well, but that's a little additional coding. I'm not going to show you that. That's advanced. Just if you want to keep it basic and simple, just do what I showed you here. You'll have your Offhost running in no time. And then we got this correct. So when you launch up, it reads. It's going to read from here. See this is actively listening to it. Sorry, it's actively reading the bytes from the file. And so when it goes to pull the RAM, it's gonna the physical memory RAM, the bytes from it, it's gonna send it to your stall server to make that work. Okay, and so that is pretty much it for the XE Cheats menu. So I wanted to check out one more thing here while I've got everybody watching me. So hang on a minute. Are we still rocking here? Yes, we're still rocking. Okay. I just wanted to see. Okay, so byte sizes. Patch data. Silent. INI. Okay, you know what? I might have been a little bit off on this. Okay, so the reason this is working for me. Okay, so it's actually, I think it's actually reading this in order. So like this is like 1 byte size. So so when it reads the byte, it's technically reading both of these bytes. Is what it's doing. So it's reading 112 plus 203, whatever that equals. 112 plus, what do we say, 203? Alright, 315. So it's actually reading 315 here, is what it's doing. Because if you look at this, XM bytes plus silent INI bytes. See this, and this, when you have it, when it's actively launched, it's reading from both of these at the same time. So when you have a comma here, okay, when you say XEX stealth server, please read patch data bytes 70 plus, I'm sorry, and silent INI bytes XCB or whatever at the same time. And then listener, please read patch size as silent XAM bytes length plus silent INI bytes length at the same time. That's how that's working. Whereas how I have it here, this semicolon, okay, that ends the command. Server, please read XE cheats menu bytes 114,800 in hexadecimal at the same time. Sorry, by itself. Listener, please. Sorry for being like really mundane about this, but I'm trying to make this thorough so there's like no errors. Please read, and you understand it properly. Please read XAM bytes patches size 2 XE cheats menu bytes. That's it. But so if I wanted to add this onto here properly, I would actually have to delete this semicolon and include a comma, which it's not liking it. It should like it. Why would you expect that? It's already there. Oh, I'm retarded. Okay, yeah, there you go. That's how you want it set up. So, XEX, Stealth XEX, please read all 3 of these programs, all 3 of these files at the same time. Combined all of these bytes and then send them to the Stealth server. And then on Mr. Stealth server, you know, like I said before, you're going to take, what you'll do is you'll take this and then you'll just add it down here to XCM patch file. So, Mr. Stealth server, please read patches, INI, and XE menu cheats, the total bytes count at the total number of bytes. Please read this amount of bytes at the same time, whatever that equals. So that way it's reading it at the same time. Because if you had it, say I had it just like this, okay, it's reading this file size count at the same. It's reading this file size count at the same time. Sorry, it's reading the file size from all 3 of these, okay. it's going to send that amount of bytes to your server when it communicates. Well, the way I have it set up here, your server, your listener is gonna it's gonna look for that file count. It's gonna take that file count and like divide it up, and it's gonna be like, huh? What are you talking about? XC stealth. I'm sorry. What are you talking about? Stealth server XEX. That doesn't match what I'm having, and it's just gonna send back an error. It's not gonna work. So how am I gonna explain this? So it's gonna just read these two files. Is what it's gonna do. It's gonna read these two files. It's gonna because when the server, when the listener receives the command from here, it's gonna take this size count from all three of these and put it up against this. All right. It's not gonna recognize whatever this is, the XE cheats menu, with whatever you got here. The way I've got it set up. See, I got that. Well, I mean, some people would say it's set up wrong, but it still works. So I'm not going to change it. So if you want it to read it correctly, you got to make sure the file size count is correct on all three of these. If you're gonna add it on here, or you can just do what I do and have it like this. And then that is the last thing I wanted to share with you on that. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and if you don't do it that way, like the way I've been explaining it, and you skip through this or want to take shortcuts, don't come crying to me if it doesn't work, because I'm gonna probably ask you some questions and shit about what you're doing, and then I'm gonna say, wow, you're the one that didn't listen to me originally. Okay, so let's see here. Was there? I am not gonna go. Was there anything else? No, it's just that. All right, so you shouldn't have any problems with the file size, like getting it to read. I've had a few problems with some of the files not being able to. So like when you have an INI, I have yet to test this, but so I've had problems before where the file size is like too big for whatever reason, and which should not be the case. But when your Stealth XEX goes to initialize and launch up, okay, it reads the INI, and it for whatever reason the size of the buffer or something's too big. It comes back with an error. It'll print on your log, and it'll just boot you into regular old Xbox and won't connect to the Stealth. For whatever reason why it does that, I don't know. If you're going to load anything bigger than, like, I'd say maybe 150 kilobytes, I've been able to get to 100 kilobytes to work, I believe. Yeah. If you load anything bigger than that up, you shouldn't have to remove the INI, but the way I understand it, you're going to want to get rid of that INI, the INI commands, the code in there. I was looking at Xbox PAL the other day, and I was wondering how they had that set up, and the way, because they did the exact same method I'm showing here, and the way they have that set up. The way they have that set up is that it has no INI, so I'm thinking that's how they're able to get it to work, because I couldn't for the life of me understand why it wasn't working, but I still have yet to test that. All I know is that the method I just showed you, that's simple, very simple, a moron can do it, it works. Now, I just want to also point out, you're going to want to find your, if you don't want to use it, if you want to do this, make your own menu or something, or if you don't want to use a cracked or a free source like XE Cheats, you're going to want to find a cheat engine. All these cheat engines you find online, source files, that pop out in XEX that people seem to load up on their plugins, that's not actually what they're originally designed for. They're actually designed when they're made for these stealth servers, not to give out to your customer, but for you to load up onto your stealth server. No, I'm not talking about like somebody that just makes their own menu and uses an XEX. That's different. That's actually meant for the plugins. But the ones that are made with these stealth sources, okay, and they're configured and coded with these stealth sources, okay, that's what they're meant for. Just for your information, if you weren't, just so you were aware, because you can't always take any old cracked XEX and well, most of them you probably could do this, the method I'm showing you, but you don't expect to take all of them, all right, any of them, and just expect to automatically load it up, okay, on your for your Offhost. Because if it's configured differently, if it's not coded correctly, all right, it won't communicate with your stealth server. Well, communicate with it, but it won't. You'll just get errors. Just trust me. All right, you'll get errors and it won't work correctly. But in reality, the method I showed you, all it's doing is just loading that XEX image. So it's just loading it up like it would be if it was a plugin or something, or like if you're like loading a new game. And you know that default XEX you guys always click on or something in the XEX menu, okay? That's basically what it does, except you're programming your stealth file to send that command, that XEX load image command, to your RGH. So yeah, that is pretty much it. I know that was quite a long time, but I hope this helps some of you out. I'm not really doing this for publicity or anything. I'm sure I might get a few hater comments. I really don't care. I'm here to inform you. I'm not here for your criticism, just to be honest. I'm just posting this video because nobody else will do it. It's complete and utter crap that people release half this crap and they don't tell you how to do it. This is just me helping my fellow man, average modder helping my fellow man, bringing all this stuff to the surface. Alright, so this would probably be not the final video, but this will probably be the last video I'm planning on making for a while. I'm in school and I'm super busy, so. But yeah, this will be the last thing I make for a while. If you, I just want to mention, if you are too lazy or you can't figure this out, and you just still want to host a stealth server, and you like want me to do it or something, I will probably charge you for it. I'm thinking around maybe like $40 or something. Now, I'm sure I'll get a few, and again, I might get a few hater comments for saying that. But again, like I said, I don't care. You can say that I'm stealing sources. I'm not. All I'm doing is just taking public code and re-scripting it to meet my needs or whatever clients or customers' needs that that somebody wants that they hire me with. Okay, that's all I'm doing. And what the person is paying me for, they're not paying for the source or the code technically. They're paying for my time. Okay, because this is work. This can take this. If you're gonna do this, especially on your own, do-it-yourselfers, expect to spend a lot of hours, coding your own stealth server. This does take some time to do. This is probably why I get a lot of people, asking me to code this stuff, because it's not everybody can do it for some reason. I don't know why. I mean, I see 15-year-olds writing code all the time. I figure if they can do it, a 50-year-old anybody can do it. So, all right, yeah, I think that's it for now. Any questions, comment below. Again, as I said, any hater messages with no constructive feedback or criticism, I will delete your post. I don't care. I don't need your crap. I don't care. I'm not here for your drama. You want to cause drama or whatever. You think you don't like what I'm doing. I don't owe you any explanation. I have zero obligation to you. Okay? I don't. I get people that comment on my YouTube channel or message me. They want to be a hater. I don't know what to tell you. It's a free fucking world. All right? You can frown and piss and moan all you want. Especially those who are seeing their code that I'm using on here. If you are upset about me using your code, you shouldn't have released it to the public in the first place. You can't release something to the public and think somebody isn't gonna use it for their own means, whether it's to take it and simply resell it to somebody else, or use it to copy and paste in their own code. It's absolutely asinine to think otherwise. Okay? It's like you calling the kettle. What's that old saying? It's like the pot calling the kettle black. Is really what it is. Okay? You are critiquing and hating on someone for how your perspective is they're a scumbag. Which, if you look from other people's perspective, makes you look like a hypocrite, because you're engaging in that behavior as well. Okay? Modders and hackers out there that criticize other modders and hackers for stealing code or whatever, they look like hypocrites, because they're frowning on you. Because what are you doing? What exactly are you doing with the Xbox 360? What are you doing with the PlayStation? You're modding the code. You're hacking the code. Okay, that the actual developers spent hours, using, hours creating. You're gonna frown on somebody for taking your code and using it for their own means when you're doing the exact same thing, pretty much the exact same thing. And you can sit there and piss and moan, or come up with whatever bullshit argument you want, but at the end of the day, you're still running unsigned code on the Xbox. Okay, that's what you're doing, and that is manipulating the code. You're not, the wide public would look at you with a very, very mad stare. Okay, just stop. Get over yourself. Just get over yourself about what's already released out there to the public. Okay, I don't know how else to put it. I mean, these are the facts. You can sit there and piss and moan that your feelings are getting hurt, but facts don't care about your feelings. Neither do most people. People are just going to argue back. They're going to give you crap back, and they're going to tell you to basically go fuck yourself. It's not. I don't know how else to put it. I mean, seriously, I see online how people release their code and then they pitch and moan about it getting leaked, or somebody selling it, or making money off of it, or someone or calling someone a skid, or calling a server a skid. Just really, really dogmatic, narrow point of view, high and mighty, I'm a prince or princess entitlement kind of a middle class attitude. Okay? That's what you got. You have a very, very bad social attitude. And I'm sure it doesn't matter what I say, you're going to continue to bitch about it. Well, again, it's basically the reverse. We don't care what you have to say. We're going to continue to use a code. Plain and simple, fuck you. That's all I have to say. Okay? Fuck you. If you don't like it, don't talk to me. You don't like it, don't come to me. I won't come to you. I won't talk to you. You don't talk to me. All right? We'll just keep it at that. We'll keep hating each other. Well, I won't hate you because I don't want to hate anybody. But if you want to keep hating me, that's up to you. I don't remember who said it. It might have been Snoop Dogg, but like some guy said once, I think it was Snoop Dogg once said, "Let the haters keep on hating." You know, I'm out here living life, doing my own thing. I don't give a shit what you do, what you think. Am I gonna cover anything else? Oh yeah. Again, just to add on to my little rant. When people when people release this code, and people I notice on forums a lot, people will ask, well, how do I use this? How do I make it work? And then you'll get like 4 or 5 fucking people after that calling them like every name in the book, like from a skid to noob to a leech, a noob coder. What else is there? A shuby. I've heard that one before. A kitty scripter. Oh, that's my favorite one. All right. Why? They're just you release something to the public. My God, expect people to have questions. Don't be a scumbag about it. Don't sit there and say, "Oh, yeah, you're just trying to leech. You're just trying to be lazy and not figure it out yourself." I'm not going to sit here and say that there aren't the real leeches out there, because they're really a small percentage, to be honest, for half the people that ask on these forums. The real leeches out there that just want you to code it for them, okay, I get that. I understand. You explain something to somebody over and over and over and over and over and over again. They still don't understand it, and they just want you to do it. Okay, I understand when you want to start calling them an entitled dirtbag. I get that. But when people just start asking you questions, simple questions like, how does this work? Don't just call them don't just call them don't call them a name. Help them out a little bit. Give them a little direction. Don't post some freaking picture like a meme or something that shows them eating a dick. You don't need to insult them. You don't need to be an asshole about it. Expect questions. People are going to ask you questions. But again, I can talk about this till I'm blue in my face, but people, they're trolls. So I don't know. Some people are just like not rotten human beings. They just don't have any respect for anybody. I don't know if it's their narcissist or someone shit in their cereal growing up or something, or their mom dropped them on their head, or what. It doesn't matter. They want to be complete dickheads. And for the people that are listening that are more supportive of me compared to my counters, okay, just ignore those dirtbags. If they tell you, oh, you can't make a still server because you don't know how to code, fucking ignore them. They're haters. Trust me, if you listen to 75% of the bullshit that people told you in life about what not to do, okay, you never get anywhere. You would have a miserable life. Listen to 75 or 80% of what people tell you to do, okay? There's like a small percentage of it I wouldn't pay attention to. The advice is usually not good, but usually most of the time it's good advice from people. When somebody tells you you can do it, and you get a number of people saying that, listen to them. Vice versa, if you don't. If you get somebody that says no, you can't do it constantly, and you're trying, I'd still not listen to them, because that's up to you. Because this is all about will. If you really want to do this, these stealth servers, okay, it just takes time. You can't just take a crash course on it and then do it all overnight. Okay, you're gonna have to learn a little C++, a little PPC, a language, and a little MySQL, a little HTML, and take some time, trial and error, till you get it right, and have some people help you out, not being a dickhead about it. All right, and then you have your own stealth source working. Instead of coming to people like me and saying, "Hey, I'll pay you $50 to do it for me," all right, and keep paying them money. If you're rich, I suppose you can do that, and keep paying them money to do it for you. Honestly, all you're paying for, it's like a car. I view computers like cars. When I take my computer to when people take their computer to a computer guy to get the code worked on or whatever to make it work, okay, they're paying for the service. They're paying them to service it for their time. That's all you're paying for, okay? When you could have just fixed the problem yourself. A little elbow grease, little how-to videos, figure it out yourself. I get it might be if it's too complex, too much for you, and just tired of wasting time. I get if you want to take it to a computer guy. Honestly, if you have to take a computer to computer guy, I would actually just get a new computer because they're just a rip off. But if you don't know what you're doing and it's just too hard for you, I mean, I guess go ahead and spend the money. Same thing with a car. Okay, we pay these car shops to service our car. We pay for the labor. That's really all you're paying for. Okay? All the excess charges, that's what's screwing you over, really. That's how a lot of these businesses rip you off. But yeah, mostly you're just paying for the labor for most things you do in life. And this stealth server stuff is pretty much the same stuff. Same thing. Alright, well, I know I was a little rant and rave there, but I just wanted to get that out there so people understand that. So because I've been getting a lot of people coming up to me and they just seem to feel really, really discouraged not to learn how to code. Don't listen to naysayers. Don't listen to negative people. Negative people will just bring you down and they will influence you to not go anywhere in life. Positive people will influence you to go places in life. For example, building a stealth server. Alright, well, I wish you guys the best of luck. If you have any questions, you can find me on Discord. If you want me to set up a stealth server, again, I'll charge like $40-50. Just message me on my Discord, and I'll set it up for you. Alright, hope to see you guys again. Peace out. Have a good one.